from SMPostcards again with an update on the eBay standard envelope shipping option that was approved for postcards on April 27, 2021. What I'm going to walk through today and try to answer is, can I reach top rated seller status with eBay standard envelope in my above standard postcard store? And you're going to see the results here. What I did is I tracked 100 mailings. I sold 100 postcards and I used the eBay standard envelope and I tracked each one. From the last one to when I gathered the data was 7 days. I waited 7 days from when I mailed it, when I put it in the mailbox, to make sure I got the tracking. I didn't go 10, I didn't go 20. I figured 7 days, a week, would cover, they say 3 to 4, 4 to 5 mailings. I gave it 7 days. Do you want to bank your top rated seller stats on this? I'm going to tell you. One of the things I see with it is the tracking is not as robust with the eBay standard envelope, and you'll see that from the data. Walk through the setup on what I did and what I used to do this test. All the data that you're going to see here is not biased toward the post office, myself, or eBay. The data I gathered came right off the eBay system, right off the label, the scan for the item that's sold. All this data was readily available to anybody that can see that. So on my thing, what I tracked is when I created a label, it gave me a tracking number, an ESU number for eBay, delivery services. So that was 100%. Then I did the origin scan. If it had an origin scan means after I put it in the mailbox and it hit my distribution center, usually in that evening, I would see a scan for that on the packages or whatever, and it hit that place. That's your validation for top rated seller status, that you got the first scan. With packages, the people would scan it when they pick it up. That's your validation. With eBay standard envelope, the validation is at the distribution center, or regional center, or whatever they call them. I'm not a post office guy. When that scan hits, then you're validated that you actually mailed it. Also, eBay standard envelope is for US domestic only. It's not an international option. The next part on the scan, as it goes through the system, was the destination or transit, in transit or destination. If it had one of those, I marked that on my tracking form. Then there was out for delivery. I call it delivery just to shorten the name, but out for delivery. Then the most important, delivered. When it was delivered. Now with packages, when they're delivered, the people deliver it to the house, the mail carrier scans the package and it's delivered. With the eBay standard envelope, when it hits the last distribution point or last post office, wherever the machine is when it gets a scan that says delivered. If it says out for delivery, it's usually the next day. So it's a little different than packages. It's a little bit, you usually get like 2 out for deliveries, one at the distribution center, one at the post office, whatever. It will not scan that envelope when they drop it in your mailbox. If you bring an envelope to the counter and say, please scan I need a scan for this, they're not going to know what to do. They can't scan it with the wands, is what I'm being told. It just drop it in the mailbox. It will get the validation scan that evening or the next day at the distribution center. That's how this works. It's not like packages. I also, since I had this data, I tracked out of these 100 mailings how many I had to refund. You're going to see that result. And I also tracked each state that they went to and how many days from Illinois did it take for my envelope with eBay standard envelope to make it to the point of delivery. If it did not show delivered, I did not put that into the average days because I had no delivery. I didn't know if it was delivered or not. The scan doesn't show that, so I don't know. But all this data came off the tracking in eBay for that item. The next thing is I took all that data and I put it into what they call a pivot table in Excel, and I created this table. And we're going to get into this in a minute, but I did track the state, the refund, and stuff like that, so that's coming up here. It takes a few minutes to go through that, but it's a lot of good data. But I'm going to make it easy. So here's the results from that table, basically in a nutshell. Created the label, got a tracking number in eBay. When I printed out the label, I bought the postage, that was 100%. So eBay's 100% there. And that's key, 100%. 100 out of 100. The next one is how many origin scans. How many scans did it take how many envelopes got scanned and got validated with an origin scan? 99%. Only one out of the 100 did not get an origin scan. So I think I'm pretty good there. Destination. How many scan tracking details showed a destination or in transit? 89%. Delivery. Out for delivery. How many showed? 88%. As you see, it's going down the system. You're losing the scans. How many showed delivered? 83%. 17% did not get an out for deliver scan. That's just not good. So destination scan needs some work. Delivery needs some work. Definitely the tracking for delivered is what's going to hurt top-rated sellers. So how did my refunds? In this little chart here, 0 refunds out of 100 cards. None of them said they didn't receive the card or any issues. So far I've had no refunds out of 100 cards. And I don't get many refunds at all. Very rarely. Average number of days for one of my envelopes to make it to all these places. Out of 100 envelopes that were delivered, 83% of them, 4 days. So that's meeting the 4 to 5 days. That wasn't bad. And as you'll see in the table, it only took like 4 days to get to California. 13, 12 cards. So it's moving. Now let's get into the bigger table. And I'll leave it up on the screen here. And this is YouTube, so you can pause it here and take a look at it and there. But as you notice here, I did the state. That's the state that the card was being delivered to. The next one is the created. I got 100 out of 100. So created is a key. Any number after that that's lower than the created number, since that's 100%, I shaded it, it automatically shades red. So as you go through there, you can see where the red is on this table. The next one is the origin scan. Destination, out for delivery, which I call delivery. Delivered, refund, and average days from that state. If you notice, Louisiana, Maryland, and down there, they have some red. So let's take a look at the third one down, California. So 13 labels were created, 13 got origin scans, 13 got some kind of entrance or destination scan, only 12 got delivered, out for delivery scan, so it's missing one, and only 11 showed a delivered. So 2 of them did not show a delivered scan. There were 0 refunds, and it only took 4 days. So that's how you want to read this. And the red will kind of shows you where there's a problem. And if you go down the page on the origin, you'll see that one that's 0 in Rhode Island. That's the one that didn't get an origin scan. So that's how this sheet works. And then down at the bottom, I put the percentages of there. But that's 100 mailings, the data for that, right from eBay tracking details to this sheet. So there's no bias or anything. This is raw data that anybody can get. So the big thing is, I'm getting a lot of emails, I get a lot of comments. I'm not doing this, it's going to affect my top-rated seller status. Well, let's take a step back and what is the requirements for top-rated seller? To become this, and this is right from eBay help screens. To become a top-rated seller, you need to have an eBay account that's active for 90 days. I'm good there. Have at least 100 transactions and $1,000 in sales with U.S. buyers over the past 12 months. I'm good there. I comply with all the policies. I'm good there. Meet the requirements for transaction defect rate, cases closed without seller resolution, and late shipping rate. So transaction defect rate, I'm good there. I have no defects. I don't plan to have any. Cases closed without seller resolution. If you get a refund and you don't deal with it, and eBay's got to deal with it, you're going to get dinged on that. So if you get a refund, take care of it as quickly as possible. Don't wait on refunds. If you're a top-rated seller, you want to take care of those as quickly as possible. Late shipment rate. What the heck do they mean by that? How do they define that? Little fuzzy there. But let's take a look at that. But that's the one that probably is going to not is going to impact me trying to get the top rated seller. Currently my postcard store is above standard. Been like that for years. I didn't have any tracking. So I knew I'd always be above standard. My toy store is top rated seller because I have tracking and everything goes through a package. You know, no problem. So I think this is the issue. And since it does only 83% said show delivery to, I don't think I got any protection on the other 17%. So, late shipments per eBay. Late shipment rates are determined by the percentage of transactions that you sent after the handling time stated in your listing. So if you have 1 day handling time or 2 day, you know, that's when it starts. Or that were not delivered by the estimated delivery date that eBay comes up with. And some of those are a little wild. We'll only consider a shipment late if, that's where it gets a little fuzzy sometimes, tracking shows the item was delivered after the estimated delivery date set by eBay. Unless there's an acceptance scan within your dispatch time. So if there's a scan that says delivered, it overrides it. Or there's a confirmation from the buyer, overrides it. So they get a chance on feedback to say, was it delivered by the date? Yes. Then that is good. Or you got the deliver scan on there. The next thing is the buyer confirms the item was delivered after the estimated delivery date. So if they say that, then it's a late shipment. Unless there's an acceptance scan, unless there's a delivered scan. So out of that 17%, if someone says it didn't get there on time, it's going to be a late shipment within your handling time. And there's a delivery confirmation, or there's a delivery confirmation by the estimated delivery date. So that's what a late shipment is. This is the one, late shipment is what's going to affect. I don't think there's a problem with origin. It's going to be the late shipment. Or defects and stuff like that. This is where the problem is. So here's the stats. The late shipment rate, where you didn't send the item within your handling time or the item was delivered after the estimated delivery date, are subject to late shipment rates. Maximum percentage of transactions sent late, 3%. We're already at 17%. Out of 100 cards, I can't prove that it was delivered unless they sent the feedback back and saying it was delivered on time. Then I'll be fine. But I'm not going to bank top-rated seller status on a store for that. So 3%. They got some work they need to do with those scans. They look back 12 months or 3 months if you had 400 transactions in the last 3 months. So these 100 cards in there, you know, am I going to be able to reach top-rated seller status in my store with eBay standard envelope? At the moment, I'm skeptical about that because of the late shipment rates. Does it really bother me that I'm not top-rated seller in my store? Not really. There's not that many benefits, but it's nice to have. I've had it for years in my toy store. There is a little bit, I don't know, you get some savings or something, but I don't know. But to get there, I would like to get there, but I'm skeptical if I'm going to be able to make it because of the scans with this eBay standard envelope at the post office level. I'm tending more this is a post office issue with scanning and equipment than an eBay getting the data, because everything else is there. So, but I'm not a post office guy and I don't work at eBay, so I don't really know the problem, but I'm tending more, this is more of a post office issue than eBay. So how does eBay standard envelope help me? My store is currently not top rated seller. I shipped out with an envelope and a stamp before. Now I'm using the label. So what are the 5 benefits that I came up with for eBay standard envelope? It saves me a small amount of postage. Instead of 55 cents, it's 51 cents. Not a lot. Adds up over time, I guess. Offers a type of tracking a stamp and an envelope did not provide before. So I didn't have tracking before. Now I got a possibility of having some tracking. Brings a chance to bring the store to top-rated seller. That's skeptical right now, but there is a chance that they fix the scan or to get better at scanning these things. And I could bring the store to top-rated seller. So why not do it? Reduces the chance of error in copy and pasting addresses. Pulling it off the shipping thing, putting it on a label, putting it on the envelope. I just got to print out a label now. I just print, peel, and stick, and mail. That's all I do now. It's actually, and the last one is it's a time saver. It just print the label out and stick it on the envelope. It's about a quarter of the time what I was doing before. Not that it was a lot of time, but it's over time. Just another about 4 steps I don't have to do. So those are the 5 things that it benefits me. Remember, this is basically more beneficial for people that have been shipping for years with an envelope and a stamp. Now they get these other benefits. It's not that much of a benefit for people doing first class and priority mailing at $5 to $8 and thinking they're going to get full tracking at 51 cents. That's not going to happen. So, this was more bottom up is how I see it. We'll continue to use eBay standard envelope. It doesn't hurt me. It's just an add-on to what I didn't have before. If you have a top-rated seller status and you're starting to sell postcards and you use eBay standard envelope, would that hurt your status? What I'm seeing on the data, I would have to answer right now, yes. So if you don't want to create another store and go through all that process like I did, that's what I did years ago, is I created a store, and it takes a while to get the listings up, and it just takes a longer time. A lot of people don't want to do that. And you don't want to lose your top rated seller status, you might want to take a look and make sure it's not impacting your top rated status and continue to do the tracking. I'm going to keep tracking this stuff. I got, we mail out lots of postcards, so I'm going to have some more data just to see if this gets better over time. But I think the post office and eBay need to work on the delivered, out for delivery, and those 2 areas the biggest thing, so people can get the top rated seller with that and not banking on the feedback from the buyers. So I'm going to continue to do those. I appreciate you watching this video. Check out our other eBay standard envelope video that I'm going to ping right up here if it works right. I did that in February. It walks through the whole label, the tracking when it first came out. It's still, the options are still there. I don't know if they've changed it too much from what that original video was. Again, thanks for watching, and we hope to catch you on the next one.